Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your personalized reading for the week of May 30th to June 5th, 2022. This is a general reading, so feel free to take whatever resonates and leave behind for others whatever does not. To get a deeper view into your week, check out readings for your sun, moon, and rising signs. On May 30th, there is a new moon in Gemini. Gemini's ruling planet, Mercury, governs communication and the intellect. Because Mercury is in retrograde until June 3rd, this week provides opportunities to reflect on prior communications that may not have come across as was intended. This reading looks into those themes. So in this first column here, we see what you should reflect on from your past. You have this main male card. This can be you if you identify as a male, or it can be a main male figure in your life. This can be significant other, someone you want to have as your significant other, parent, an employer, someone who is who's mature, kind of set their course on a career path, someone who is pretty much, on their way to becoming whatever it is that they've set out for themselves in terms of career or even, what they want for life in general, marriage, family, kids. You have the Tower, Ten of Pentacles, and the Magician. So here in the middle column, we look at how to change things for the better. You have this illumination card, and that can be either some type of, cheering things up or possibly getting insight and information. You have Four of Cups, Ace of Wands, and 10 of Wands. And in this third column, we look at the potential outcome. You have the Mercury Messages card, which is kind of the overall theme of the reading with Mercury being in retrograde. This Mercury Messages card kind of talks about, just being aware of how it is that you communicate, what is it that you say to yourself? What do you say to others? How is it that your communications come across? It's thinking, it's really how you operate in general with your entire environment. And the challenge is to make sure that the mind and the heart are actually, connected. And if there is like a rush or kind of superficial, shallow thinking about things, then there can, result in some problems and issues. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, so there is also that concept of kind of paying attention to the messages of, the spirit around you, your guides, the universe, and just being aware of your surroundings in general. So over here with this main male card, the main male is confident. similar to the Magician. They are pretty much have the ability, skills, and talent to kind of create what it is they want, just like the Magician. And here with the Ten of Pentacles, it can be a sense of this idea of having the family, the connection with community, material wealth, and security that is a goal for you. And this also could be a sense of a legacy, in the sense of perhaps if this main male comes from a family that is, well off, or even just close. And then you have the Tower. So here you've got all these like cards of confidence, wealth, power. And then the Tower is a card of some type of divine intervention coming in and knocking certain things off its foundation, because the foundation was not sturdy to begin with. So let's take a look at that Tower. This is, what to reflect on from your past. So Tower is usually built up by, ego. So here you have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is kind of things in motion, going forward, movement. It's also messages, things happening really quick. So this, you could still be processing like a sudden shock to your system about something happening, some type of, it could be that if this is someone you have in mind in terms of a connection, like a romantic connection, or an employer, or even a parent figure, it's almost as if you had built them up in your mind, and they quickly, like, either pieced out of the scene, or they turned out to be not what they were presenting themselves, because the Magician can also be the trickster. So let's see about the Magician here. You have the Star. This is about hope. This is kind of a sense of, it's almost it can be healing, and it can be a sense of clarity, but the way that I'm seeing this, it's almost a sense of kind of putting someone on a pedestal. So let's take a look at the Ten of Pentacles here. You have the Two of Swords, and this is a position of like a stalemate, really not making a decision due to some type of like fear or anxiety. So this could be a sense of what is being reflected on, or what should be reflected on from your past, is certain indecisions or impasses that came about when it turns to like long-term commitment, and what is your Tower moment. So Tower moment's different for everyone, but it could be that things just go too quickly, like there's too much hope, there's too much like putting someone on a pedestal and thinking things are going to be great, and rush into something, and it's really not what it seems to be. So in the column of how to change things for the better, you have this Illumination card. So it could be just, being more aware, like seeing what the truth of something is, as opposed to what you are kind of hoping it is, or kind of filling in the gap for what something could be. So it's almost like this Eight of Wands, and visually the Eight of Wands and the Illumination card kind of are very interesting to me, because the you have this circle here. It could be the moon or the sun, and then you have these Eight Wands. But if you take these Eight Wands and you rearrange them around this, circular object, then it could be, visually the same. So what is also interesting is the Eight of Wands typically doesn't show what the target is. It kind of just shows things in action, because there can be a lot of kind of changes at the end, or kind of unknowns that really affect where the Eight of Wands is going to ultimately land and hit. So with this illumination card though here, it's as if the light is in the center, and almost like the wands, I know they're rays, but the wands are kind of coming from a certain place. It's coming from a place of knowing in a way. So let's take a look at what you have. You have a lot of wands. You got 1, 2, 3 wands. You got a cup and a pentacle. So far, there are no swords, which is about messages, communication, intellect, and thought. So let's take a look at the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a sense of kind of a new idea, a new way of pursuing something, action, new opportunity, new sense of life. But you also have the Ten of Wands, which is kind of the the end of the suit, where perhaps the initial vision was too great, and you're still trying to put energy and effort into it. And with the Four of Cups, it's a sense of really not excited about what's going on, but it's also a card of just not being aware. So you can see this person here is kind of looking down, melancholy, and not even aware of this person sticking their hand into the window to offer a cup. So let's see here. Let's take a look at the Ace of Wands. You have the Ace of Pentacles. And again, very visually similar to this illumination card. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, new opportunity. So here, the change is possibly shedding more light on these new things that come into your life, these new romances, these new job opportunities, these new connections and friendships, these things that have potential, and how it is that you see them. Are you putting things on a pedestal, being hopeful? Are you actually getting information about things? So let's take a look at the Ten of Wands. You have the King of Cups, and here it's kind of saying that you are putting in a lot of work to potentially have a connection with someone who is a King of Cups, someone who is, you know, romantic, compassionate, emotionally sturdy, someone who is um, able to provide support to people, and kind of take on, you know, like a shoulder to cry on. So here it's kind of a sense of you really putting a lot of effort to possibly create this type of ideal. And that can be what it is that you're looking for in any type of partner. So let's see what's going on with the Four of Cups. You have the Five of Wands, and that is over here as well. This is a sense of conflicting ideas, conflicting goals, and it could be within yourself. It can also be conflicting ideas in terms of if you're building something up and you're getting information that doesn't support what you're building up in your head or telling yourself, then it's a sense of you know, conflict and instability. And if you are emotionally tied to, you know, what it is you're trying to build up and not allowing for information to be downloaded that is actually, you know, the truth filling in the gaps. If you have too many preconceived ideas about how you want things to turn out, then it is a sense of not only, you know, not getting what you're hoping for, but also a sense of not being aware of something in the first place, where you can't make certain adjustments for that. So the potential outcome here is a focus on communication and how you think. So again, we have the Five of Wands, we have the Emperor, and we have the Lovers. And again, it's kind of like a concept of making sure the heart and the mind are in communication and not just coming from one place or another. So you have the Lovers card, and this is about like making decisions for the long term and not just kind of filling in hopefuls. It's actually getting information. It's conveying information to yourself, being able to recognize certain, you know, desires that you want, and finding someone who you actually want to kind of learn from, grow with, want to be your best version of yourself, and they want to do the same, so that there's reciprocity in this like relationship. It is a card that kind of makes you actually do some background checks, some research, and finding out, investigate some things, figure out what it is that, you know, if someone says this, what is it that they actually mean, and for yourself as well, and to kind of check on certain things that on your assumptions. So here with this Emperor card, it's a sense of authority, power, and, you know, masculine energy. And it could be that, you know, when it comes to these type of people, like some main male, some confident male that kind of comes in as a protector. It could be that you give them too much credit, or if you identify yourself as the main male, it could be that you give yourself too much credit as well, and not really, assuming too much without really figuring out the facts. So let's take a look at the Five of Wands here. You have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is a sense of stability and structure. And then you've got a fifth wand coming in, kind of messing all that up. So here, all the wands are kind of parallel. And here in the Five of Wands, those wands are kind of crossing over each other. There's really not a sense of what's the consistency or uniformity. And, I would say the Emperor definitely likes structure and likes to know information, wants to be right. So let's take a look at the Emperor there. Ace of Swords. So, yeah. Now there is a swords here. There's a Two of Swords and there's the Ace of Swords. And this is about truth and being right. Getting information, getting a sense of clarity, and being able to set up certain boundaries. And so here, let's see here. Let's see what's going on with the Lovers card. The High Priestess. So the High Priestess is the inner knowing. It's the true concept of, intuition, but here it's as if you need to, I see this as a couple of ways. It could be that you need to actually have a solid foundation for what it is that you are kind of desiring or wanting. Get facts and really make sure that your assumptions are backed up by fact. And then also, if you are trusting your intuition, make sure it's for the intuition is based on this true concept of the Lovers, of the long-term outcome, and not on the concept of an instant kind of connection, an instant attraction and happy ever after. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.